So yeah, you got a bunch of people living in the or you got people, you got some nomads, right, as opposed to people that are living more sedentary. That might be the right word. I believe it is. Lifestyle, and you have people that are like nomads. They move around their entire lives. I'm gonna take a wild guess here. The people that live more sedentary lifestyles, their metabolism goes ahead. It will crank down. It will slow down because it's okay. Well, we live in a less fast-paced environment. We got. I went over that in the last video, but because of the jump cuts, I figured out what the problem was. By the way, I was running out of space. So you got a sedentary lifestyle. Water here, food here. Camp right here. Everything else we need. So maybe average person in that society walks maybe 5 miles a week. Whereas the nomads can travel upwards of 200, 300 miles a week. So the difference is their bodies will adapt to the environment that you're living in. It's a fundamental basis of evolution. So keep that in mind. If you change the environment in which you are in, you will change. And you can just change your mindset to change your environment, or you can actually go dramatic and change your literal everything about your environment. I would be hesitant about getting too far outside of your comfort zone, because you go too far out there, you might not come back. So there's that. But consistency. And it's never a bad idea to keep doing research. You can always learn more, and you can always look at things from a different perspective as well. So that's pretty much wraps up how I feel about the consistency thing. Is that it's a multifaceted issue. It's not just consistently working out. It's consistently following through with a lot of things. So it's you're making sure that you try to have a healthy mind. I'm not trying to say you stay positive all the time, because that's not healthy either. But you try to get yourself closer to that gray area in between happiness and sadness, as opposed to being happy all the time and being sad all the time. Just try to, ride that line, or walk that line, as Johnny Cash said. So, and you want to be consistent. That's a big factor in fitness. Like I said it earlier, if I go lift weights tomorrow, I'll be sore by Friday, and I'll be recovered by Saturday. And if I never do it again, it will be as if I never did it to begin with. So, consistency is a big part of it, but don't get so caught up in the consistency that if you skip a date, or it's my 2 week, it's coming up on my 2 weeks, I need to go out jogging again, or I need to go out and lift some weights, do some push-ups. Like I said, you want to ease into these kind of things. If you're not feeling good that day, you're not feeling up to it, don't beat yourself up over that. Just chalk it up to the fact that your mind is not ready for it. And sometimes, not all the time, I'll say this, you will go out specifically thinking that you're not going to be able to do what you're going to do that day. Whether it be like fitness-wise, just feeling groggy, your back might be hurting or something like that. So you actually get out there and start doing it. You realize that it was all in your mind to begin with. But sometimes you get out there and you'll be, oh my God, it's fucking hell. That kind of situation, I'd say get your workout done with as quickly as possible, and, get back to figure out what might be causing this. Is it actually something physically going on, or is it something, mental? And once you address the problem, you can actually deal with it. So, only got one thing left, and for anybody that wants to hate on this one and say that it's kind of the number 4 and 5 are the same, it's kind of, but I'm willing to forgive that, because I wasn't having a hard time coming up with a 5th one, but I was like, it might as well just be this one. We can revise the list later. Nobody will know. So pace. All right. Now, the biggest difference between pace and consistency is, and you'll hear a lot of people talk about this when it comes to staying fit, applying sports medicine in your life, is that you don't want to start off with a pace that's too aggressive for yourself, because if you injure yourself while doing physical, working out and stuff like that, or even just an accident, you will experience regression. Okay? A couple years ago, I fell off a skateboard, and my ankle didn't take too kindly to that, and I took a serious hit to my jogging regimen. I took almost a year off, and the reason I decided to take a year off was because 4 months after the ankle incident, cracking, crunchiness, crispity. No, well, we were going with crispy. But, 4 months after that, I went back. I was like, it's been 4 months. It still hurts. It bends in this weird way now. But, I don't want to baby it. So I went out and I got maybe about 1.5 miles down the road before pain from about here all the way to about here started shooting up my leg, and it felt like somebody had just reached in there and snatched one of my tendons and was like, guess what? I'm going to just stretch this bitch out until you fucking cry. So I decided to turn around and go back to the house and baby my ass for about 6 more months. At which, when I went out that time to go jogging, that mysterious pain didn't appear until about 3 miles into my jog. At which point I was like, okay, if I can make it 3 miles on this leg, I'm probably good enough to just start back, but I should be very slow and cautious about it. And that's what it was for the next year. After that, I was very slow and tedious in a roundabout way at meticulously trying to nurse this ankle back to health. Muscle therapy is something that I'm going to tie this into the pace thing, because if you're not as flexible as other people, you might be able to, if you have a good friend or family member, enlist them into helping you stay fit. And part of that is, after you work out, a lot of people won't understand this, you are sore as hell. Not immediately after you work out. Sometimes you work out a whole lot, you'll be just drained afterwards, and you'll immediately feel the effects. But generally about 24 hours after you work out is when you start to feel the lactic acid that's packed in there and all that other good stuff that's going to take another day or so to kind of sort itself out. If you can get in there and kind of force the blood flow to get to those hard to reach areas, because after you work out, this all will be inflamed, so blood can't get to all the areas it might necessarily need to get to. So the physical therapy can go a long way, and that. Oh, nice lids right there. Oh my gosh. Oh. All right. So, back to the pace thing. You want to pace yourself, but everybody's got a different pace. I would say pace yourself slower as opposed to faster, but it has been proven that sometimes by setting a higher pace, you can get better results. But I would also advise against not setting a higher pace for too long. If you're going to set a higher pace, just do it for a short period and see what the results are on your body. And then, if you want to take it up a little bit more next time, that's perfectly fine. But consistency and pace are going to be a big factor in what overall shape you're going to end up in after a couple of years. Because the thing is everybody knows that you don't get results overnight. And the thing about it is, depending on what you're doing, you're going to get different results. So before you start, make sure you understand how to get to the result that you want. That you're not just going out doing things that you think are going to help you lose weight or help you get stronger or, whatever. research is important. And I didn't put that on this list. And I'm thinking now I'm going to have to change that. So, until next time, my friends, my companions, my enemies, and my rivals, you guys have an interesting life. I will try to do the same here. Let's not let things get too boring. Bye-bye. And Skallagrim, just found your channel. Dude.